Welcome to Big Blend Radio's Food, Wine, and Travel Show, where we go across country and travel the world with members of the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association. Let's go. Welcome, everybody. You know we love our shows with the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association because we get to go around the country and around the world. And today we're going to explore what we can see. We're going to explore attractions and theme parks and museums. We're going to be chatting with Meg Heinen from CityPASS. And we love CityPASS. They've been on our show over the years. And CityPASS, when we talk about discounted tickets for these theme parks, especially for families, this is such a cool program. So we're excited, because we're getting into spring break mode right now and people are planning travels and weddings and all kinds of gatherings. So it's a very exciting time to start planning your budget. So welcome, Meg. How are you?
I'm well, Lisa. Thank you so much for inviting me on the show.
Hey, this is great. I love this with IFTWA. Everyone, we say IFTWA, IFWTWA.org is the website. Got to give them a shout out. And I encourage you to go to citypass.com. Also follow them on social media. They're fun to follow. And so let's talk about CityPASS because actually, CityPASS is the same age as our company. You guys were started in 97. That was a good year. I'm just saying. A lot of good ideas came out that year. Yeah. So is CityPASS still a family-owned business?
Yes, it is. That has not changed since we started in 1997. It's still owned by two families, the Gallaghers and Mike Morey's family, and they're both, somewhat involved still in the company. And yes, CityPASS is, some things have changed and some things have not over the years.
It's exciting because I think one of the biggest changes was during COVID. I know you actually refunded your customers' money during when things started closing down, but it also led you to, and you're still here. We love that. That's a big deal.
Yes, we're still here.
The tourism industry kind of took a beating during COVID, and it's just so. Then the attractions, theme parks. I know, like you even have botanical gardens on your roster, in your portfolio, I should say, not a roster, but they started just doing like timed entries, so there weren't as many people, and they started to really have plans to make it work. But I think that's when you guys kind of went digital with your tickets, right? So that was a big change for people.
Yes, COVID really hit the travel industry very hard, as it did most every other segment of our society, but travel especially. People just stopped traveling. Attractions closed down. We ended up, I believe it was $6 million worth of CityPASS tickets that we refunded to anyone who couldn't travel because of COVID and during the shutdown. So that was big. That just shows our commitment to our customers, our travelers, and we stuck by our word that we'll offer refunds if the tickets can't be used, and so we did that. And one thing COVID did, there's some good things that came out of it, is that we completely transitioned from little coupon booklets, sort of, to completely digital tickets. Our IT and BizApps teams worked round the clock for probably 2 years straight, trying to integrate with all of the attractions so they can scan the tickets. We can now make reservations directly through our CityPASS app, which that is one big accomplishment that arrived probably last year, late mid 2023. We launched my CityPASS app, so that really helps the travelers when they're using their tickets. All the pertinent information is right at their fingertips.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, including making reservations, because most of our larger cities, New York, Chicago, Seattle, most of the attractions in those cities do require advanced reservations. So once a customer gets their tickets in their email, they can download the app or use the web version of an app and work and make their reservations directly from the app. They don't have to go to each individual attraction to make their reservations. It's all pretty much integrated. So that is one huge advancement we've had in the last 6, 8 months.
That's fantastic. And I want, if you could just kind of give everyone an overview, how did they save money? Because I think for families or groups, like if it's a wedding and you have a wedding party, this is, just even for college students, I've talked about this over the years with CityPASS about, how saving money, if you're new to, a new college city, and you can go to the attractions, get to know the area, kind of get acclimated that way. This is also great. It's a great gift, too. So if you can explain to people how they save money on attraction tickets.
Sure. Yeah. So, our owners, the co-founders, really, they were in the travel industry at one point in their careers, and they got together and they decided, hey, wouldn't it be great to get people into these attractions, set them up with the most iconic attractions, the famous ones and most visited attractions in each of our major cities that we currently have CityPass tickets in. And even more than that is to discount it because everyone knows how expensive travel can be, especially if you want to see all the attractions that a city has to offer. Museums, observation decks, zoos, aquariums, all of that stuff. They both had families at the time, so that was that was very instrumental in them starting the CityPass ticket. So what they do is we partner with the most traveled, visited attractions in each of the cities. We work with them. We take their gate price and we bundle everything together and discount it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're very transparent about what that discount is on our website before you purchase the ticket. You can see exactly how much these attractions cost for general admission and total them all up. And you can see the percentage savings you get when you purchase a CityPass to visit them all.
What is about because you're basically bundling the attractions together, and what would you say is a percentage of savings just in general? Because I know every place is going to be a little different, and every city is going to be a little different. And I think you're in 16 cities or destinations across North America, right? In
Yes.
Canada and Toronto, Canada is your
Yes.
16. Yeah. So there's Toronto, there's Tampa Bay, Southern California. So you're looking at, the Disneyland, the Legolands, all of that. Seattle, San Francisco. We got our San Diego in there. We love San Diego. San
Yeah.
Antonio, Texas, Orlando, Florida. That's a biggie. Philadelphia. Oh my gosh, all the sites in Philadelphia. That's huge on history. Houston, Denver, Dallas. Oh, that's a big one too. Chicago, Boston, big. Atlanta, big. New
Yeah.
York City, big. Okay, so all the major destinations, like major city areas, you're covered. So we want more. we
Well,
just want more.
hopefully we'll have some more in the next year or two.
Yeah, you never know. But yeah, what would you say would be the just a general percentage
Well,
savings?
each city, like you mentioned, Lisa, is going to be different. Atlanta, a lot of the Texas cities that we have, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, the cost to get into those attractions are a lot
Mm.
less than Chicago, New York, Seattle, San Francisco. But the range, I think from bottom to top, we go as high as a 50% discount and
Wow.
probably as low as 29%. The lower percentage savings come from our C3 products. In various cities, we offer a main city pass, which is usually anywhere from 4 to 6 attractions that are included in the ticket. And then for shorter stays, we've started offering product tickets that are best for shorter stays in those cities. So, for instance, in Chicago, New York, San Francisco, and Seattle, we have a main city pass and then we have a C3 ticket. So you
Hmm.
get to choose three tickets out of the list, and that's going to vary in each city too.
Hmm. This is
So the
cool.
C3 tickets tend to have less of a discount because there's less attractions to take
Sure,
into account.
sure.
But yeah, so 48 to 50% is on the high side.
That's really high though. I mean, that's giving, I mean, even the 29%, like you're saying, that's significant savings. I think for families, are you going to think your families are going to be the biggest, grouping of your clients, right?
Yes, I mean, yes, family and budget travel are pretty much, our standard themes, I guess you would call that. And then there's different segments and sectors of the populace too that we definitely reach out to, or that are in demand of our CityPASS tickets, and that's like there's brides or bridal parties. We
Hmm.
see a lot of those come through, whether it's for a bachelorette party or if it's a destination wedding in one of our cities. The Either the bride and groom or the families will purchase tickets for some of their attendees if they might want to learn more about that destination. Um, yeah,
I was going to say too, because with, I can imagine with, just, the major events, like if you're going to an expo or a convention or an, conference, this would be cool for the attendees to have something like this, for breaks in between. I remember going to a gardening convention and we were doing radio shows during the convention. And we're like halfway through, we need to get out of here, even though it's plants and we love plants. It's just you want to have those breaks, and so many of us when we travel, to these kind of, we have to do our networking and our business and everything. Then we want to sneak off or maybe add days, to the beginning or the end of our stay. Since we're there, why not add a day, and go see an attraction, go to something you've always wanted to go to. Like, how many people want to go to the Space Needle in Seattle, that kind of thing, So and there's a lot of
absolutely.
like the natural history museums. I'm all in there. You've got all kinds of dinosaur things, and we love that. So to add that on for your business trip, that's got to be. I mean, even IFTWA did that with their conference last year when they did the conference at sea, going from Vancouver, sailing on the Princess Cruise Line. They went down the Princess Discovery. They went down to San Diego, I think, or LA, excuse me, LA. And I know a lot of the travel writers with IFTWA we're using CityPASS tickets at the different destinations, the ports of call. So I think for even if you're cruising, that's another whole thing. If you jump off in San Francisco, go see some of the most, famous sites and attractions, and then they got back on the cruise ship. So you can mix business and pleasure. I think we should.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that, Lisa. Yes, we do have a lot of, especially the cruises that are entering a new market. That's one of the reasons we implemented a C3 program for people who have just one day or a half a day before they jump on their cruise ship or disembark from it. They can get at least, the three major attractions they'd like to see or they've wanted to see for years. They can do that with a much lower price ticket, but they're still getting savings.
Mm,
So
that's really cool.
that works out really well. We have a lot of colleges and schools that will buy, they do group tours and they will buy the City Pass
Mm.
tickets. I don't know exactly how many we do. I don't handle that, but yes, I see a lot of those orders come in from schools and colleges, teams, team sports, if they're at school field trips. So there's just numerous reasons. And again, it's just all about seeing the best attractions in each city and saving money while doing it and making it easy. we don't, a lot of people don't like to plan trips, but since these are the most iconic attractions included in our city pass, we've pretty much done the planning for them. If
Mm.
that's what they want to focus on, is the main, like if they've never been to a city before, they want to see the main sites, then a city pass is perfect.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. The kind of attractions you have spans everything from the Disneyland theme park to the Natural History Museum to even art museums and historic sites. It's pretty vast. So you're kind of capturing the interest, a variety of people are going to be interested in it. It's not always just the theme park. You have cruises. I mean, it's like dinner cruises on there. Like, I'm like, this is cool. You can do so many different, I didn't even realize just actually going on your site, and I encourage people to go to citypass.com. You just go, oh, I didn't know this was there. I didn't know about this place. I didn't, so you're doing a great job of just even promoting what you can do in these different cities. And some of them are just so unique that I was like, I didn't know about. So I enjoy at least just even going on your website and getting some inspiration. And it's a great way to plan and then save money, when you get the tickets. And when people purchase the tickets, there's like a limit of how long they can hold on to them, right?
Yes. So once a ticket is purchased, it's good for 1 year from the date of purchase. It has to be, at least you have to start using it within 365 days, then it
Oh,
expires. Once you visit your first attraction, then most of our destinations have a 9-day validity period. So that begins with the first day you scan your ticket in an attraction.
okay.
And that counts as day one. And then you have 8 additional days to see most of the sites. So again,
Yeah.
9 days was the time frame after doing a lot of research that, some people or maybe most family travelers are in a city like for 5 days, but 9 days gives them a cushion if they
Mhm.
stay longer or haven't been able to see everything they wanted to see. Um, our one program, Denver City Pass, has a validity of 7 days, but all the rest, with the exception of the theme parks and the Orlando ticket and the Southern California ticket, those dates, the validity just varies on whatever the customer, how many days they choose at each park. So
Mm.
those tickets, most of our destinations have set tickets, like will, for instance, Chicago. The two set tickets are the Shed Aquarium and Skydeck Chicago. And then visitors have a choice of three out of, let me see, seven. So then they'll choose shoreline sightseeing, architecture tour, the Field Museum, 360 Chicago Observation Deck, the Museum of Science, Art Institute of Chicago, or the Adler Planetarium. So they get
Wow.
to choose three, and that's how most of the tickets are set up. Um,
Hmm.
is one or two set tickets, and then your choice of a list.
Mm.
And those
I think
those
it's cool.
choices don't have to be decided when you purchase. You can decide as you go, which
Oh,
makes it very convenient. So if you have time and you're walking by, just say the Adler Planetarium, and you're in Chicago, you weren't sure you were going to visit that one, but hey, if they have availability, you're welcome to choose that and have your ticket scanned and go in.
that's cool for spontaneity. I always say that when people travel plan, get your reservations in, like certain, theme parks or attractions and museums. You need to do it and know the days and times, right? That they're open. That's the other part. But always leave that open window of spontaneity. You never know what restaurant you may discover. And then around the corner, it's like, hey, there's a planetarium. Let's go, So you never know. Or there's a special exhibit that just came into town that you didn't know about at a museum or gallery or something. So um, I think always have that little bit of spontaneity, and that's fantastic that you have that for people to do. Now you did a little bit of touring recently. I know you've been to a couple of the major cities, New York City, which someone would have to hold my hand and take me around because there's no way I'm driving there. That's not
Oh,
happening. No.
I don't think very many people drive. I wouldn't want to drive there either. No, subways and walking is my preferred mode of
Yeah.
transportation. I probably put on 12 miles a day um, in New York just a couple weeks ago. So, and that's just the most amazing way to see the city. Um, um,
Cool.
yeah, so I was just in Seattle. I took a group of journalists there, and we had the Seattle CityPASS, and we also had our C3 ticket because there are different attractions added to the C3 that are not included in our core CityPASS ticket. And spontaneity, this is where you were speaking, Lisa, about
Hmm.
how nice it is to be able to be spontaneous at times. Is we were visiting, I think it was the Seattle Art Museum, and then we had to make a reservation for our next attraction, but we got through the museum fairly quickly, and we were maybe a mile away from the Skyview Observatory that was part of the C3 program. It wasn't on our agenda. We hadn't made reservations, um, but the group said, yeah, let's try and get there. And so we, walked. I mean, you could take a taxi or Uber or Lyft or whatever, the public transportation, but we got there and we were able to see one extra attraction that we hadn't had in our agenda because we wanted to be spontaneous and we had the time. So that was an added bonus for the journalist that I was with, that we got to the Skyview Observatory and saw
That's
Mount
fantastic.
Rainier from
Oh,
there.
no
It
way.
doesn't
I
happen
love
very
Mount
often in
Rainier.
Seattle. So that was
That's one of
nice.
my favorite parks. That park is amazing. Wow. And to see it from there too. That means you're
Mm-hmm.
getting a nice unobstructed view, right?
Yes.
That's gotta be, ooh, how cool. I
Yeah.
love this. Well, I'm excited for everyone to go and, save money on your travels. The more money you save on the travels, the more things you can do.
Yes,
Just
exactly.
saying.
You can go out to nicer restaurants or eat
Hmm.
more or throw a few off the beaten track attractions in and tours. And yeah, anytime you could save money is great. That's
I
why,
always say that. Yeah.
yeah,
I just, for families, it's so expensive when you travel. And so, whenever they can catch a break, I think it's fantastic. I think, there's two things for saving money in travel. One is get city pass tickets, and two, get a national park pass. It'll save you
yes,
a lot of
yes.
money. You know, yeah. And when I talk about a national park pass, get it for like all the parks if you like parks. So it's really cool. If you have those two things and you can have it on your phone and everything, then you're set. You're
You
good to
are.
go. You
Yep, you
road
can go
trip.
anywhere you want.
And this is fantastic also for travelers coming from overseas. So can they hook up with you when they're overseas, or do they typically do that when they come to the States or over into Toronto?
Well, a lot, it's most of our sales are done via the website, but they certainly can if they're not sure what they're wanting to see and do while in a city, for instance, like Toronto. Most of the attractions will sell the City Pass, whether it's
Hmm.
via a QR code at the front desk or where the ticket office, or you could buy a card that does the same thing. It's just not mobile. You just have to carry it with you. It's kind of like a little credit card, but it gets scanned just like the mobile tickets. And most of the attractions will sell the cards on on site, but the majority of people are buying digital mobile tickets just because it's easier and it's
Hmm.
quicker, and there's really no fear of losing it unless you're prone to losing your phone.
Yeah. Well, I've dropped mine in the toilet, but don't tell anybody. But by the way, the rice thing works. But I think this is fantastic for people coming over. Just even, you fly into Boston and you've got something already online on your phone that you can start doing.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
could
it,
go right away, and a lot of people, like I had mentioned before, most of the attractions in some of the larger cities do require advanced reservations, but Sometimes you can make the reservation an hour before you want to go, just depending on availability. During spring break and summer, we are always advising our customers to make your reservations at least, a week or two in advance.
Mm, agreed. Agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah, do that.
sure.
Be prepared, especially yeah when you're flying from overseas and all of that. Make sure get your reservations in. I think that's a good tip there. Well, I'm so glad you joined us, Meg, because like I said, we're getting everyone ready for spring travel, and then summer's on the heels of spring, so and then fall, so it's all busy. It's a busy season, and I think I think America's gonna be busy this year, travel wise. It was
I think
busy
so.
last
We
year.
saw it was pretty busy last summer too. So
Hmm.
maybe even busier. We'll see.
Well, the American road trip is back, which I think is fantastic. And that's, a prime way for families to, get out of Dodge together and yeah, I think get in the station wagon, right? Go to the cities and then do your parks in between. You know what I mean? You can plan a really cool trip as families or friends or, if you're going to do a bachelorette party, go somewhere, together
Yeah,
make it something fun. I think that's the other thing I'm seeing is that people are really wanting experiences. It's not like just a bachelor or bachelorette party is going to a bar. It happens, but it's not like it's just kind of one little part of it versus what it used to be. And you see people really just going for the experience and creating memories together. And that's what travel's about, you know?
it is. It is. And,
Yeah.
a lot of, you had mentioned gifting, give the gift of experience. We have a lot of people, especially around Christmas time or graduation, kids graduating from college, moving to a different city. They'd
Mhm.
appreciate a city pass to at least familiarize themselves with the city, see the sights, and get to know it. So giving the gift of experience is priceless. I sound like a
Mhm.
commercial. One other thing I wanted to mention, Lisa, I was just this morning doing some research. And also, when I was at that conference in New York, I heard from various journalists that skip gen travel is becoming very popular. So, skip gen is just short for skip generation, where
Mhm.
grandparents are traveling more and more with their grandchildren. Like
Yep.
I wrote down this stat that I read 40% of grandparents out of 69 million grandparents in our country travel with their grandchildren. And
Wow.
they're leaving the middle generation at home, leave the parents at home. It's a
Yeah,
great
go
way
to work,
to
parents. You go
get
to work, earn the money, and then give it to the go to work parents, give it to the grandparents and the kids to go party while you work.
right, exactly. But it also gives the grandparents and the grandchildren time,
Mhm.
quality time, because not I don't know about you, but not very often was I ever alone with my grandparents. The parents and the rest of the family were always there, aunts and uncles and everything. So, it gives the opportunity for both grandparents and grandchildren to spend quality time with each other.
That's excellent. It really is. It really is. Well, everyone, citypass.com is the website to go to. And of course, they're on social media as well. Follow them. That's real fun. And of course, our friends over at the International Food Wine Travel Writers Association, follow them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's super fun. Just use the hashtag IFTWA. And is when people want to follow you on social media, is it a hashtag CityPass?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, go check that out because again, you get to have this insight on these different attractions and activities across the country and throughout North America, and it's just fun to follow. And go to ifwtwa.org, and if you're a travel writer, you better call Meg. Just saying, call Meg. But everyone, thank you for listening here on Big Blend Radio. Thank you, Meg.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for listening to Big Blend Radio's Food, Wine, and Travel Show featuring members of the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association. We encourage you to visit their website. We say IFTWA, which is IFWTWA.org. You can also follow us at bigblendradio.com. Happy travels, everyone!